Good morning, Ed here, W4EMB, activating park number K-2943 here at Dunbar Cave State Park here in Clarksville, Tennessee. It's about 8:09 a.m. local, and we're going to go ahead, and we've been listening to this frequency now for a minute or two, but we're going to try 40 meters here at first. See if we can drum up any business. Not sure what the conditions are like today, but they haven't been good lately. But that's the glory of CW. Even on bad condition days, we can get something. So let's see how we do here. First thing is always like to give it a listen. Haven't heard anything. So we'll go ahead and throw out a QRL. So I sent a QRL question mark. Did it is a question mark. You might be hearing a lot of that today, as I'm fairly new at CW, and if I don't catch a call, I have to send a question mark or 2 or 3 or 5. Another QRL. And there was that question mark. Still nothing heard. That time I threw out DE, my call sign, W4EMB, QRL question mark. Nothing heard. So, do this. We'll go ahead and hit the recording here. Calling CQ POTA. My phone's sitting just off screen. I'd like to know if I hit the POTA website. Using my go-to radio this morning, my Pentec TR45L, along with the Chelegans MC750 antenna, my Czechoslovakian Army key, a set of paddles here from, this is a set of touch paddles I got from G0POT. Still learning with the paddles. Alright, so I hit the RBN. Go into my POTA website here. Alright, well, we're on the POTA website. So 13:13, my start time. sometimes when they tell me they're in a state, I copy IN for Indiana there at first. I wasn't paying attention, was I? I think somebody threw a did in there for me who might be listening. I haven't done a lot of commentary here. Been coming one after the other, which I don't mind. So we're at 10 this morning, including prior to me starting the recording, I had 4 fellas from my morning net check in with me here at the park, so that was nice. Yeah, that was one after another there for a few minutes. Like the ladies that were walking by. It's always nice to say hello to the folks out here. was awful fast. Okay. A little bit of QSB, I guess, on the little closer ones. I wrote down 2s, even though I think he sent 3s. I do that a lot subconsciously. I shouldn't be counting those dits and dahs, but I hear the 2 dahs at the end of the 3, and I write down 2s. Shouldn't be doing that. It's di-di-di-da-da, di-di-di-da-da. It's a whole sound. I need to hear the whole sound. We might switch over to 20 meters here if we're getting some QSB. But if I started at 1313 as far as calling. I've made 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 in that amount of time. It's now 1325. 12 minutes, 7 and 12 minutes. That's good. I've been sitting here a little bit longer than that. You know, the other day I sat here for quite a while calling CQ, like 2 hours, and I got 7. And the last part of that 2 hours, I had to go on the hunt and get on the phone there and go to the website. And luckily, here at this park, I have coverage, so I was able to get on the POTA website and go hunting for parks. So I'm glad that we do have coverage here at this park. Give us a couple more calls. If I don't get anything here in the next minute or two, well, then we'll go out there, we'll take our coil off of the MC750 antenna and go ahead and extend the telescope there to the 14 megahertz range. A couple more calls here. Some ladies down here in the garden taking pictures. If you can see the building there, and the trees there just in front of the building, that's a garden. But way back when, where they're standing now in the garden was actually a swimming pool. I think up until the early 1970s. Early 1970s. There was a hotel here. There was cabins here at one time, many years ago. Early 1900s. People would come here to the Dunbar cave, sit at the opening of the cave, which is just to my north here, and the cool air from the cave would come out. They had tables and chairs. They would listen to music, and different things that it can. A little bit of QSB getting in on us there. So you know what, I think we are going to go ahead and we're going to change bands. I'll let the recording go while I do that. I'll run out here, remove my 40-meter coil from the Chelegans, and on the telescopic whip itself there's some silk screen marks, and one of them says 14 megahertz, so we'll go ahead and make that adjustment here. So pardon me. You know, one good thing about concrete picnic tables is I don't think it shook too much as I got up from the table. But yeah, here's the 40-meter coil that's there, and it was easy as that to change bands. Now if I change any other bands, I don't have to, you only have to have the coil in there for the 40, so everything else would just be an adjustment of the telescopic whip. And it does, as its name implies, the Chelegans MC750, so everything from 40 meters all the way up to 6 meters. Let's go ahead and change bands here. I'll listen here for a moment before I call QRL. I'm on 140615. I'm watching my needle here on the radio fall flat. I'm on the reverse. You know, it's sitting much better when I set my pencil down. I need to get in the habit of that because I'm fighting for the right grip on the front, and I tend to have some missed characters there. I'll grab my phone here and double check my spot here. Alright. Photo website has already moved me QS wide, my frequency for me. And you heard me mess up that letter B a second ago. So if you're listening to this for call sign practice, that last time before last was not W4EMB. You know, when you change bands, it's always curious to me, you know, where you're making it now. Who, you know, what states are picking me up. I was getting a lot of Illinois, Michigan, a few Tennessee. Ohio, Michigan, Illinois. And I tended, for whatever reason, my signal goes that way a lot when I'm here at this park, to my north and the east. My north and east and my south and west is where the signal, when I get on the beacon network and I look at where my signal's going. I'd like to know how to get my signal a bit more to the straight west. Oh, speaking of straight west, just got a text there from a California friend that has been hunting me for a long time. Doug Bow just sent me a text there. I'm listening for you, Doug Bow. I know he's listening to frequency. He just sent me that text there. So he has me on ham alert. And so I just popped up on his ham alert. So he's listening. Oh boy, he got some QSB. Texas. Doug Bow not looking good. Sometimes this is where I wish I had an extra person with me. I'd run up to my van and go get my external battery and plug it in just to give myself a little bit of extra oomph up out of here. Well, you know, and I'm kind of new at the recording thing. I've only recorded less than 5 times here. Last recording that I did, I'm still trying to learn the camera settings, and it ended up being almost like it was shot on a cell phone, like a vertical, because I had changed some of the video settings trying to reserve space on the card. And so I didn't, you know, I hate trying to watch a YouTube video and have it look like a phone. So I just deleted that video and went back. Hopefully I'm back on the better settings. I don't ever know until I get home and try to stick this on editing software. I'm using a free thing called DaVinci Resolve. It's very complicated. I'm really new at it. A lot of it's above my pay grade. And the camera here breaks the video down in, I don't know, 10 or 12 minute segments. And so when I take it off the card, and then I have these multiple recordings, luckily they're numbered in order. So then I have to grab each one and drop number 1, then number 2, then number 3, and so forth on the timeline. And I would like to go in there and learn and get more proficient at maybe slicing out a lot of the dead time. I would love to just make a video where it's just nothing but call signs for you. But that post-production business, oh, it's just, maybe I'm just too lazy. That's it. I'm just too lazy to do it. You know, I'm behind too. I got some other projects I'm supposed to be working on. But I tell you what, since I've gotten more proficient in CW, I didn't say proficient, I said more proficient. Okay. I think he's using a cootie. I think the longer DAWs. So I think he has a cootie that he's going back and forth on. I'm definitely not proficient enough to tell the difference between keys, but maybe some of my more experienced friends can chime in on the comments and let me know if that last call sign there, N40W, I believe it was, I hope, if he was using a cootie. Because paddles, obviously the key or the radio is going to make more distinctive dits and dahs, more uniform in shape. And to me, that is the proficient person in CW, who, no matter the key, no matter the tone, no matter the QRM or QSB, can listen through a pile and grab a tone and copy it. My Elmer KM6NN, John, he has that ability. I turned my receive mode to the narrow, but John likes it wide open. To me, it's just a lot of information in my ears, but John, he likes to listen to it without the filter on, and he's able to just go, oh, a joker could probably say, oh, there's this guy and this guy in there, because he's really good at what he does. And I tell you, I would love to be like him one day. Practice, 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 I guess. So Texas and Florida here on 20. Still maybe a little early for 20. It's 8:44 in the morning. For maybe the atmosphere hasn't had a chance to warm up and bounce that 20-meter signal around. I have someone that I'm meeting with this evening overseas. We're going to jump on a Zoom call. We haven't had a chance to talk in a while. In the Trenches with Kaz. Look him up on YouTube. So we're going to get on and have a chin wag. We haven't had a chance to talk in a long time. And let's see, other than that, I might try to head out to Land Between the Lakes this weekend. I have a solar panel now, a battery. I have the Bioenno 12 amp hour battery. I also have a 3 amp hour. I have a solar panel. And I would love to sit out there and do an activation up until, you know, UTC midnight, and kind of stop and restart and start over again. And I have a in-fed half wave 80 through 10. And you know what, I need to 80 through 10. I need to give credit to who made that for me. Found him on QRZ underneath the Hams That Make Stuff category. Quality job that he's done building these in-fed half waves. Just pure quality. Stainless steel parts, strain relief, project box with rubber gasket, 49-to-1 balun in the project box. And I got both the 80 to 10 meter in-fed half wave from him, and also the 40 through 10. Very kind of him to make these and to put out such a quality product. I'm not using the in-fed half wave here. Last time I was here, I sat at a picnic table over there. I ran my in-fed half wave to a 33-foot mast. I leaned it against that cedar tree, but that put me over the trail that people walk on. And I don't want to ruin my welcome here at the park. The park ranger and I have an understanding that I can operate at the picnic table, but just not be in anybody's way. The other day it was raining, and there's a small gazebo right over there that's been there, I don't know, 100 years or whatever. And so my Elmer and I, we went in that gazebo, set up a table and a chair. We ran the wire out the window to the middle of the garden, which happens to be where the old pool was. And the ranger came out and he says, "Hey, you guys can't be here. You know, this is a garden. People walk through, and they have signs that, you know, tell the names of the plants and things, and people walk through there and look at it." And he had a very valid point. You know, I set up an antenna with radials out in the middle of a place where people walk. So yeah, that wasn't smart for me to do. But he's very kind about it, and we asked him if we could set up a pop-up over top of the picnic table to keep our equipment dry and play some radio here at the picnic table. And he says, "Oh, by all means, do what you want at the picnic tables. We just can't be down here because people walk around here." So, you know, I didn't. Of course, you don't give a person any gruff for doing their job, but tell them thank you, and they'll be more than patient and more than willing to work with you. Well, I'm glad I have a little bit of gift of gab here, so that way I could fill up some of this blank time as we run on the bands to maybe warm up a bit. You know, I like the other style that I see a few of the YouTubers do. W4ARB, K4SWL, W0ABE, but some of them set their camera here in front of their chest and shoot down at their paper. At first I tried doing that, but I lean forward a bit when I copy and when I play radio, and it would put my camera halfway in my paper. And Knowing me, I would be dumping the camera over all the time. So I'm going for the profile. I'd love it if my clock showed up better on camera. My clock is a bit round. I wish I had a flat one that maybe could open up. It would fit my bag better, because I put a towel over top of my radio while it's in my bag, then I set my clock, my key in there. So I'd like to have a small travel clock that opened up with 24-hour time. This one only does 12-hour time. I would love to have a 24-hour time clock. But I've spent a little bit of money lately, trying not to. I'm retired, and this is just a hobby. But I found this key. This is a Czechoslovakia military key. And this thing is great. It has such a soft landing to it. Quiet. I say quiet, you might hear it kind of clacky around. But it's pretty quiet. It's a flame-proof key. Right here in the front it says receive. On the other side it says transmit, because you would open that up, and when you do that or lift that up, inside it creates contact in there. And so I believe, you know, just like our early telegraph keys with the shorting bar, I believe that was probably there to close the circuit by lifting it up. Oops. I hit the wrong recording. That just proves I can't talk and do something else at the same time. So 1313 is when I started here. It's 1351. I don't want to make this video any longer than an hour, but I'd like to stay. My goal would be, I'd love to get 30. I'd love to take you with me the whole time. Now, how long this new video card lasts, I have no idea. I went out yesterday and bought a new card. The card I had originally, the camera told me card's too slow, recording may stop. And it was a 32 gigabyte card, and it did stop because it got full. So that's why I was messing with the settings to see if I could get more time of video on the card, and therefore I don't have any footage from the other day coming out here doing POTA. It was bad band conditions anyway, so you didn't really miss a lot. You know, I made, I don't know, 10 or 15. Which I'm at 15 now. I'd love to make 15 more. It's only 8:52 in the morning. But again, a two-hour video is just a bit much. You know, YouTube provides your analytics, so you can go back and watch it. And when you have an hour-long video and you hit the analytics button and it says your average watch time was 3 minutes and 12 seconds. You know, it makes you wonder, why am I shooting an hour-long video? You know, but I sit and I watch some of these longer videos from W4ARB and K4SWL and W0ABE for call sign copy practice. So if you're thinking about getting out there and doing POTA, that was my goal. I wanted to practice CW, get proficient enough to where I could activate and do POTA on my own. Question mark is your friend, and everybody's more than willing to slow down for you, and they don't mind repeating their call sign for you. So that's very nice. Let's see if anybody said anything to us on the POTA website. see here. We can click on the little clock. So W8NGA, K4HPP, KI5LKS, and N4OW have respotted us. So that's nice. They didn't add any additional comments, but that's okay. Sometimes I like to go in there and see if there's any other comments. Ooh, spaceship. That's interesting. The other day I had a guy answer me, and while he was talking to me, his signal was changing pitch and tone the whole time, and he was just drifting to at the end of the QSO, which is short. He was almost out of my narrow bandwidth. I had to flip the switch over to wide to finish to make sure I could finish the QSO. I probably could have heard him by leaving it on narrow, but he was drifting out. He was going to be out of the edge of my band soon. Then I went to his QRZ page, and it seems that his hobby is he likes making CW rigs. And so he was on a homebrew CW rig that he'd put together that was, about the size of a lunchbox, and had a lot of different ones that he had made over the years. And I tell you, as we lose our older hams, we're losing a lot of institutional knowledge in this hobby now that everything's digital and spot on frequency and that was a weak one there. Well, we got him. Kilo Bravo 1 Mike. Kilo Bravo 1 Mike. I'm going to learn how to make a 1 and an I quickly and distinctively different from each other. I see some of the folks overseas, they make almost what looks like a pennant for number 1. But I don't know, sometimes my handwriting, I might think it's a 7. But in this case, the 1 matches his state. I believe New Hampshire, I think, is what he sent. When I hit 14:13, I'll go ahead and stop this recording, just because I don't want to go over an hour while I try to get in an additional 30 here. I don't mind sitting around and waiting, but I don't want to bore people to death here with a lot of empty space time. I'm writing my final column that I have over here is frequency. It's been the same frequency from here to here, so to here so far. So up here was 7090, 7.0615, and then 14.0615. What I need to do is I need to find where 30 meters is resonant on this antenna. And I probably have to drop the coil in. But I do have my analyzer, so I might experiment with that a little bit to see if I can so my needle's just flat as can be. Gosh, I love trying to pull out those ones that are really hard to hear. He ended in a Z, I think. But man, he was way down in there. He was a K something Z, I think. A lot of dogs here. Now and then I get worried for a dog might come over and relieve himself on the antenna. If they do, it might cure him of any kidney stones. Well, we're coming up. We got about 10 more minutes that I'll let this video go. Then after that, like I say, I'll stop that video. But give me some feedback down in the comments if you'd like me to just let it go for the whole duration. Nice thing about a slow activation, you have a chance to drink your coffee. But I'd much rather have a busy activation. But I can't complain with 16 QSOs. The past few days the bands have been not cooperative. 20 during the day has been poor. Yeah, if I stop the video, I might, like I say, I might experiment. I might experiment a bit with to see if I can get 30 meters out of the Chelegans. The Chelegans doesn't say 30 on the whip, but if it does 40 and it does 20, well, 30's in the middle. So I don't see why I couldn't do some experimentation. I had the Rig Expert Stick 230 analyzer. Just learning how to use it, actually. I know how to read SWR with it. So I think I'll have to try to set it on a frequency and then start adjusting the antenna to see if I can get a lower SWR on the frequency and then give it a go. We'll see. You know, the one hardest thing for me with the Chelegans and pounding in the ground stake, you know, I bring a little rubber mallet with me, but I'll pound in that stake, and it seems like it never fails that when I bend over to pound in the stake, what I think is straight is a lot of times tilted, and then by the time I put the telescopic whip in there, it exaggerates the tilt. So sometimes I have to get back and look at it from 2 or 3 different angles to see if I got the stake in straight. Oh, it's 14:06 here. You got about 6 more minutes. And who knows? Maybe after I stop the camera, try to get 30, and then maybe I'll restart the camera if I have time on this card. I have no clue what the capabilities of this card are as far as length of time go. But we'll find out, I guess. I guess I could do that. I could put the card to its paces. Good morning. I like it when nice people ask me or say hello and all that kind of stuff. I told my buddies the other day that if you have weirdos stop and ask you what you're doing, tell them that you're trying to summon the mothership out of the lake, and the weirdos will leave you alone. They usually egress the area quite quickly. But then you might get to meet all the park rangers. That's how you can find out how many park rangers are on duty. If you're hearing these jokes, well, it means you stuck around for the whole video. So if you heard those jokes, put it in the comments in the bottom there. Maybe that'll encourage other people to watch the whole video till they hear the jokes. Well, 14:07. Started at 13:13. Haven't made a contact in 12 minutes. Well, I'll tell you what, we'll go ahead and we'll power down. We'll get out the Rig Expert stick, and we're going to go over there and see if we can get this thing on 30 meters. But having said all that, there we go. Hopefully that wasn't too shaky. Anyway, thanks for joining me today, and we'll go ahead and stop this recording. Make sure that you go out and check out those other channels, W4ARB and W0ABE, Alpha Bravo Echo, and K4SWL. And I know I'm probably forgetting somebody. And then also go on QRZ.com, look under the hams that make stuff, and look for those in-fed half waves. It's a 3 call, I think, out of Pennsylvania. I'm horrible horrible at remembering calls. Anyway, thanks for staying with me all this time, and we'll see you again. W4EMB 72.